I don't know what your opinion is, but I think we live in a quite cool country. At least, I am happy. And maybe you don't even realize it anymore, but our students are the heart and soul of the most entrepreneurial university of the Netherlands. Some have had the pleasure of winning on stage in the 5 years of the UT Entrepreneurial Challenge so far. Others have already proven themselves for many years, are a part of our community, and can be found all over the world. We see the initial ideas and prototypes of our students fly underneath the sun, making impact all over the world, saving lives in healthcare and on devices of millions of users. But every company and innovator didn't start off with a finished and successful product. The ideas for these companies come into existence at a place and time where you would least expect it. It only takes some ambitious and bright minds to come up with game-changing ideas. And we know the perfect stage to use for the 5th year in a row. Welcome to the grand finale of the 5th edition of the UT Entrepreneurial Challenge.
Yes. We start off right already. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome at this 5th edition already of the UT Entrepreneurial Challenge. My name is Mike Verkouten, and I'm your host this afternoon. And as being said, this is already the 5th edition, so the anniversary edition of the UT Entrepreneurial Challenge. And while you're, of course, watching from home, and this final actually takes place mostly online, we actually have some people here, as you heard already during the clapping. This is not like a tape or we're trying to fool you off. This is like really people over here. So we have the jury chairwoman and man later on, but thankfully also some representatives of each finalist over here. So sitting in the audience, give yourself a warm applause already. As you see, still many empty seats, so we keep our distance, but it's good already for how we experience it to see some people over here. The UT Entrepreneurial Challenge is initiated by the University of Twente, the Student Union, Novelty, the Designlab, ETM and Soapbox. And of course organized together with all our wonderful partners with many expert coaching joining us during this final. And later on, we're going to see also who is joining us online in the chat and all kind of other things. But let's already start by giving all these people that organized this, all these experts and all these coaches that brought these finalists so far, also all the other participants that didn't make it to the real final. Also, one more time, a big round of applause. Because we cannot thank them enough for their time and expertise that they put in to bring it already to this 5th edition already, so 5 years in a row. As you maybe saw, I'm also not just being accompanied by an audience. I'm also not alone here on a stage because I have a other host standing next to me. Let me introduce you to Tijne Scholte.
Thank you, Mike. I am Tijne Scholte. You may know me from the University Innovation Fellows Program at the University of Twente or the Dutch Student Investment Fund. And I'll be your co-host this afternoon. We have a great audience joining us today from home. And I hope many of you have received the program booklet at Popcorn. You can also find the program booklet right above this video. And I suggest you check it out for more information about all of our wonderful finalists today, the jury, our partners and their career opportunities, and of course, much more. Click on the logos of each of the finalists and partners to go to their profiles, and you can learn a lot more about them. Also, if you have a physical booklet, you can scan the QR codes and learn more information that way.
Yeah, and it's good to see already the enthusiasm here, alive also here, but you can also, of course, join us with your enthusiasm live from your homes in the chat. As you see also in your screen, you have a chat function where you first of all can do sort of shout outs. So if you're maybe a family member, or you are a fellow student, or you're enthusiastic about what is happening, of course, please give a shout out, cheer them up, because we can, of course, feel it here, but also see it here, what is happening. But I can also imagine that you're maybe a relative or not per se in the business world or startup world yourself, and you have all kind of questions. Maybe you think like, okay, how can I maybe make use of the University of Twente if I want to start my own business, or if I want to make impact with some things that I think that need to change or solve some problems or whatever. We have people, of course, in the chat also joining you in the chat where you can drop all your questions and they try to help you answer them. Maybe they also will ask you questions on how you like the weather today, because we're in a closed wire, so we have no idea. So feel free to drop already, like if you're enjoying the weather or whatever, in the chat to sort of practice it for yourself. Because we love the interaction. Also, if we try to cut off at least all the buzzwords, but if maybe startups use buzzwords that are so familiar in the startup scene and you don't know them, also feel free to just say like, hey, people that are hosting this chat, what are they talking about? If that is too complicated for you, there's also an invention called Google, where you can, of course, find these kind of things. But hey, it's also good to have interaction in the chat. If you make use of social media, of course, we have people here maybe that do that already, but if you do that from home, showing us where you're watching or you're enjoying the popcorn or whatever, please feel free to do that on Instagram, Facebook, whatever the social media is nowadays. But you can still use the hashtag UT Challenge. Let me also explain you more about today's program and also the way how you can vote later, because we have many awards that finalists can win. But before we dive into this, let's also take a moment to look back on this 5th edition so far. Because ever since the first edition in 2017, the UT Entrepreneurial Challenge has offered students the opportunity to further develop their own ingenious ideas, prototypes, and research projects into the next step. And this year we started off with a record number of 90 projects in our 3 categories, and together we all went through 3 phases during the timeline of the UT Challenge. After the kickoff with all the participants and partners, the networking phase started, and this phase is all about getting to know each other, and there were more than 250 chat conversations already in the UT Challenge dashboards by participants and coaches of joining partners. And the main goal being to receive feedback and valuable expert help. Also good to know, we already handed out a prize, the networking prize that was being won by Mover, also sitting there with the white shirt, waving, I think now, yeah. Congratulations still, because he won the prize for the most votes for his project with almost 450 votes from within his network. After the selection of the top 40 projects, the deepening phase started with more contact between coaches, participants, workshops. And we had a speed dating event where about 125 15-minute speed dates took place. Participants received feedback and gained valuable insights from our partners. And of course, we had the Access to talks where we gave you all the insights. A lot of information so far, so if you missed anything, again, use the chat and let us know, because the people in the chat are willing to tell you more about it.
Yeah. Going a little bit further, after the speed dating event, it was time to select the 20 finalists that are here with us today. After all phases, 5 workshops, and pitching practice, they are more than ready for this UT final. Let's get started. First, I want to introduce Bart Nieuwenhuis and Eline Kikker to you. Bart has been involved with the UT Challenge since day one. As professor at Nikos, now ETM, and of course we're also joined by Eline, our portfolio holder of external affairs, entrepreneurship, and innovation at Student Union. Bart and Eline, welcome.
Yes. So Bart, welcome. We just had a chat before we started, and you already said this is the first time for a long time back on campus, and you even got an applause when you walked down. How does that feel?
I never had it before. I love it.
This is really indeed the normally maybe after a lecture or whatever, but now
even then,
also
this
not
is much better.
Good to have you as the chairman of the jury. And 5 years ago, of course, we started with the UT Challenge, and it is, of course, about entrepreneurship. Why is it so relevant for our students and the UT in general to do something around entrepreneurship?
The university has a remarkable track record, I think, with 1,000 or more startups during 35 years, so there is a long tradition. So my first contact with industry was when I started in 1972 studying electrical engineering here at this university. But today we have complemented the technological educational programs with a lot of other interesting programs. It's the high-tech human touch university. We have excellent training programs. International business administration is on the top of the list. So I think everybody needs to be an entrepreneur, and especially in those days where we have to cope with a lot of challenges.
Yeah, nice that you're saying that, because it's indeed more than just starting up your own business. It's also being entrepreneurial and making sure that you get the relevant skills that can even help you in research later on. Or
our students will probably start working in industry, but also some of the students will also continue their work as schoolers, and we also need to become entrepreneurial academics, I believe.
And this is the 5th edition. A few of them, of course, you also joined as in sort of student group that is organizing this kind of thing. How do you look back at all the editions so far?
Yeah, yesterday I saw some of the movies from the past, and the first thing that you immediately realize is that how many people fit in a room. So this was really a lot of fun, and you also saw a lot of students, a lot of people from our partner companies. And they enjoyed beer, etc. So that's what we missed. But I think, looking back, I think it's an excellent tradition, and I hope we can continue that for the next years to come, because I really believe that we should continue with this.
Agree totally on it. And is there something that's like your so far proudest moment?
Well, I thought about it. So I think the interesting thing is we all say entrepreneurial education, entrepreneurship is very important. But what I realized last year, we were suddenly had to move from a live event to an online event. And then what you really saw is we practice what we preach, don't we? So we managed in just a week or so to change everything. And that was one of the most proudest thing. I was then member of the jury, and I've seen that from quite close distance. So that's one of the things I'm really proud of. So we practice what we preach, don't we?
For sure. It would be strange indeed if we proclaim to be, we don't proclaim it because it's even numbers based, but to be entrepreneurial as a university, but we also have to show it. One last thing, and I know like there's a camera indeed behind me that shows you, and then I have, of course, on the card, is there anything you want to say to the finalists of this anniversary edition? But it's a bit strange because then people, of course, are watching at home, but the finalists are behind you. So if you come a bit closer to the microphone and you change a bit like there and a bit closer to the microphone like this, okay, yeah, and then you can like still say something to the finalists. Well, that camera is maybe picking you up, but also you can at least watch a few times to the finalists, because otherwise you have your back turned to people that you give your final wishes to.
Yeah, that's it. So I wish being here is already an achievement. So I'm very proud to see again, also this year, a lot of great ideas. What I can say is do your utmost best to present everything what you can do, give an excellent pitch, and then we will see what will happen. So I wish you all the best.
Great. Thank you very much. And enjoy the final, and we see you later on. Thank you, Bart.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Eline, are you here with us today? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect.
Can you hear me as well?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay. Thank you very much for
Great.
joining us today. I'm just going to start straight into the first question. As you might have heard, Mike said that there were over 90 startups entering this year's UT Challenge. As the portfolio for entrepreneurship at Student Union, you must be well pleased, right?
Yeah, of course. I'm very proud to see so many enthusiastic students this year, especially in these tough times. And it's not always easy, I know that, but it makes me very happy that so many students are so enthusiastic to join the challenge this year.
Yeah, for sure. I'm also very excited about this finals. Entrepreneurship and innovation are not uncommon in our environment and to our students as well. But are you as surprised as me as seeing all these great ideas and innovations they come up with all the time?
Yeah, yes, of course. Yeah, as most entrepreneurial university, we promote entrepreneurship, of course, and the student union, we do that as well. But it's so nice to see that every year the students come up with such creative and original ideas, and always new ideas. So that's so nice to see, and I'm very proud of them. And yeah, I think they will come really far.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for today, well, of course, we have the startups here, the representatives of the startups here in person. Do you want to say something to them in particular to basically give them a little bit of energy, maybe hype them a bit on for this event?
Yeah, it's good to know that they achieved a lot, already a lot. So enjoy the whole day, the whole final. We've come so far, and it's not all about winning. It's also the way of the journey to the end. So be proud of yourself, enjoy today, and I'm very curious who will be the winner.
Okay, thank you very much, Eline. Have fun this afternoon watching the UT Challenge.
Thank you, and good luck, everyone.
Yes.
Yes, thanks indeed, Bart and Eline. And let me talk you through to today. I did already a long stints of the whole program, but it's also good to know, Tijn, of course, because you know, but let's also make sure that people at home know what is going to happen. So we got 3 categories for you today. First category, ideation. Second, prototyping. And then, of course, I said already 3, so startup. We pre-recorded the pitches to minimize the movement and disaffecting work on stage, because we still hopefully are a bit in the end of it, but we still have the COVID situation, and you see us already slightly moving throughout this whole stage. But again, a representative from all 20 finalists is here today and will be able to pitch in the Q&A and answer jury questions live here on stage. Later in this final, when they, of course, get selected. So you think, it's pre-recorded, so it's easy. No, because some of the people here still have to stand on the spot where Tijn is now standing and still do their 1-minute pitch and some Q&A answers, a Q&A in front of the jury. For each category, we have a jury member from the UT present here to announce the winners at the end of this grand final. What they can win? Now, we have a total of 9 awards, so people here embrace yourself for a lot of applauding also at home, to hand out at the end of this grand final. So from the 3 categories, of course, but we also have the ASML Makers Awards. We have 2 4TU Wildcards, and I will explain later on what that means. We have 2 Creative Mules branding packages, and of course, the audience prize. And an audience prize means something.
Yes. So after each category, you guys get to vote. You, the viewers, get to vote on your favorite contestant for each category. Voting will be available on the pop-up on your screen near the chat. Voting is possible for 30 seconds, and of course, only 1 vote per IP address per category is possible. So be sure to choose wisely for which startup you would like to vote for. The finalist who received the most votes in total wins the audience prize of today. We will let you, of course, know when voting is possible. But before we get into the pitching, we want to try out this practice this voting system. So we're going to go through, try to practice the voting by just asking a simple question. Who is watching? We want to know who's watching and where you're, Are you a friend of a contestant? Are you family? Are you Attila? Or are you just a UT Twente partner? So right now there should be a pop-up on your screen that gives you an option to vote. Of course, now you can see the results of the other voters. So you can see how many votes are coming in for each category. But of course, when we actually have the audience vote going through, we will not show that because we want to announce the audience prize winner at the end. Yes. So now we'll take away the voting, and then we'll move on to the rest of the agenda. But before we actually go to the pitches, in the ideation category, we are going to switch to Tom Veldkamp, the UT Twente Rector Magnificus.
First of all, welcome to all the contestants who made it to the grand finale of the Entrepreneurial Challenge this year. Also this year I'm very much impressed by the creative solutions that have come forward by our contestants, our students. And I also would like to emphasize that, of course, it's part of a process. And this year there are a lot of potential candidates who actually might turn their idea into a viable business. And that's the whole idea about the Entrepreneurial Challenge. And this wouldn't have been possible by our experts who have been supporting our contestants, and I would like to thank them for the valuable contributions. And I'm really looking forward to what comes out of this challenge this year. So I wish you all a lot of success and good luck with the Entrepreneurial Challenge in 2021.
So thank you, Tom Veldkamp, for these nice words. But yeah, you already said it. It's time to start with the pitches and to see who is going to win. So I suggest that we're going to start with the 7 first projects in the first category, Ideation. Good to know. These products are in the first phase and stepping towards a potential successful future. So it's just starting up with something, having an idea and seeing if it makes any sense. Because you see maybe big businesses coming from this university, but it all starts with an idea. Let's check the first pitches in the category Ideation.
I've been really impressed. I've really been amazed. Some people are doing some really amazing products. I hope they really do well. And I'm really looking forward to seeing all the final pitches, to be honest. More than 1 year ago, the world woke up to a new normal. I'm sure by now, you all recognize this screen, though probably without the happy faces. In reality, it probably looked a lot more like this. This is a situation that we never had to deal with before. And we also face those difficulties, experiencing long working hours, a lack of break, and stress. I personally think of all the days that I spent stuck behind a computer screen. It made us go out on a quest. What can we do to solve some of the difficulties of this new digital workspace? The central issue that we found is that there are simply no work applications designed with the user's well-being as their top priority. Clever Worker sets out to change this, as we will create the first of a new kind of work scheduling application. Clever Worker uses modern technologies and workflow theories to decrease your stress while increasing your productivity. Our goal is to put human well-being back as the #1 priority.
In my first year of university, I was spending all my money on food delivery until I started cooking and I started loving it. And this problem isn't only for me, it's for millions of people around the world. And that is why I started Homemade. Homemade is a platform that connects people that love to cook from home to people that want to buy high quality, affordable food. That way, you can become a chef from the comfort of your home and make extra money off of it. And at the same time, you can buy delicious homemade food for an affordable price. Our unique rating system shows the freshness of the food, the tastiness, and the overall quality of the food. That way, you can make the best decision without breaking the bank. With your help, we can launch and reach our goal by September 2022 of 7,000 active users, which will generate approximately 5 million euros in revenue for our sellers. Thank you everyone, and don't forget the future of food is homemade.
I started out with just an idea, and currently it's developing to the point where it does seem really feasible that once this challenge is over, regardless of whether I'll win or lose, unofficially things are looking really promising, and this is definitely a big contribution of the UT challenge. You have the hormone profile of a 70-year-old, and I fully understand why you feel miserable. However, I will not treat you. These are the words of one of the many doctors I visited. I was accused of taking steroids and denied treatment for my own hormone deficiency. Hormonal imbalances contribute to the development of Alzheimer's, diabetes, and heart disease. It's essential for overall health and quality of life that patients are taken seriously and treated appropriately. With Optimized, I wish to become a medical facilitator, connecting patients to competent doctors. If a doctor diagnoses the patient, we will manage the treatment accordingly. Rather than relying on outdated research and standardized protocols, we treat based on the individual and won't stop until the patient has regained quality of life. At Optimized, we will make sure you get the treatment you deserve.
I hope it's going to be at least as good as the final stage. So let's say I hope a lot to win the prize, but at least I want a lot of experience and a lot of networking with all the other companies and all the other people around here. What do you think about when I say moving out? Struggle, stress, high expenses, or even worse, wasting your biggest resource, wasting your time. The BBC agrees with all of this, and in their own study they concluded that moving homes is the next most stressful thing after a family member dying. Let that sink in for a second. It's outrageous how much stress is created through moving, considering that only in the Netherlands there are almost 2 million people moving homes each year. That's why I created Mover, so that your moving struggle can be over. So, how does it work? Mover connects you, the person in need of moving something, with other people around you that own a trailer or a van. It works like Uber, but for moving and transporting. These drivers are verified and trained to provide the best possible experience in helping you with all your packages. By using Mover for marketplace shopping, you can make an impact on environmental change. Now it's gonna be easier to give that old IKEA furniture a new home, or to transport that cool fridge or the brand new drum set that you dreamt about. So, let the movers get the stress out of your way. Thank you.
We are really excited for the finals. We prepared the pitch and the Q&A session, so we are ready for it.
Can't you wait to party again? With the end of Corona in sight, a lot of parties are coming up. But how to find the best party? At the moment, there's no place where you can find a clear overview of all the parties in your area. Instead, people are now looking at multiple social media pages. Partytime offers the solution. With our app, you get a clear overview of all your favorite parties in just a few clicks. And it's also beneficial for the organizers. The users will only open the app when they are interested in a party, and therefore we can advertise more effectively than the current big social media platforms. Also, we keep track of who goes to which party, and we return this data as feedback to the organizer. With this data, the organizer can advertise better in the future. This is the right time for our platform, since advertisement has shifted almost completely to an online environment, and people are spending more time on social media than ever before. This is party time, let's party again!
Well, I think it was very interesting and we learned a lot of new things, mostly during the online stuff, although it was online. And I would really recommend people to join if they have a very good idea.
I'm sure most of you have had to wait up to 2 days for an accurate COVID-19 test, followed by 2 days of waiting for the test results. And it uses one of these, which is quite uncomfortable. What if I would tell you that an alternative is also possible, where you have a result within a minute by only breathing out? And on top of that, it can be used for over 50 other diseases, including different types of cancer. I'm sure you would all be standing in line. We are 4 nanotechnologists and chemical engineers, and we have developed exactly what I just described. Our breath analyzer can detect within a minute whether you're infected with COVID, even if you don't have any symptoms. We will use the coming period and the prizes from the UT Challenge to validate and patent our nanotechnology. Next to that, we will optimize our system for other applications. With our device, these will go back to only being used to clean your ears.
We're excited but a little nervous to see if we get to the top 2 for Ideation, so excited, very excited.
The sea, the rivers, rain. The Netherlands is known worldwide for its fights against water. Hundreds of years ago, the Netherlands has successfully reclaimed land for habitation and agriculture and seems to be winning from the water. But today, the sea is fighting back. Due to climate change, the sea level is rising and availability of fresh water is decreasing. This means that salt water has the opportunity to infiltrate in our freshwater system, causing yield loss in the agricultural sector. Our mission is to contribute to a new form of agriculture that can adapt and mitigate the degree of salinization. Our idea is to develop a closed silt water system which uses silt water instead of fresh water and makes climate adaptive agriculture possible on a large scale. We are Lily, Brechtje and Nienke, and we are looking for a business partner to help develop our idea. Are you bringing us to the next step? Thank you.
I found that a really, really good start. Of course, I just watched these final pitches just like you guys watched them, but Mike here has been involved with them from the start. So how have you seen their growth?
I'm already impressed indeed and quite proud on what I see, but it's also fun to see because it's still ideation, but just while watching it, you were telling me like, hey, I need move for Andre next month while you're actually moving. So it's still in the ideation phase and you see already developments. And it also means for you at home again, if you are watching and you're interested in what they do or want to know more because you're working with it or you are a potential customer or whatever, also please drop it in the chat, find them on LinkedIn or whatever they are maybe already in the website or whatever, but help them out also to make into the next step.
Yes.
But you can do more than just helping out, also by...
You can also vote for them. So that means it's time to cast our votes. If I'm correct, now you'll see a pop-up on your screen to vote for the ideation category. You got 30 seconds, starting now. Thank you everyone for voting.
Yeah, I'm quite curious indeed who is going away with this audience prize because yeah, we can actually also not influence the jury members because they're not here in this room. And you at home, we can also not influence. And even the people here, you cannot do much. Maybe you're texting with people at home, please vote or do or whatever. But again, also a big thank you to everybody in the ideation category. Well done. But we have more, so because this brings us to the category prototyping. And these projects are, of course, a bit more than an idea, because if it starts with an idea, then you start maybe working on something. We have, of course, at the university, it's in one of the logos, the Designlab, where you can start building and showing a bit if it's really making sense. So a sort of physical prototype, a scale model, maybe you make a sort of minimal viable product, or you're working on your business model canvas. A lot of buzzwords. Again, use the chat if you don't know what it means. But let's see at least what they also are working on in their category prototype. Let's hear it for the pitches in the category prototype.
We want to start to do a pilot with our prototype and see if it actually works in practice. Dear passengers, in the Netherlands alone, 1.3 million people take the train each day. And you are probably one of them if you go to your family or your job. But how frustrating would it be if your train journey is disrupted by some confused person? Or how unfair is it if you pay for your tickets but other people don't? Train conductors are there to resolve these issues. However, they are not deployed efficiently. We, Nico and I, are two mathematicians and we don't like inefficiency. That is why we created a data-driven algorithm that sends train conductors to the right place at the right time. With the prize money that you are dividing, we can get a prototype into practice. And together, we will achieve better service, more safety, cheaper train tickets with fewer resources. All aboard!
I have a prototype. We finished it 2 weeks ago. It's actually functioning. I have an app and I have the lamp. And we are actually hosting a raffle for the first person to use the prototype to win it. And I'm really looking forward to see who it will be.
Loneliness amongst older adults causes yearly increase of 50% in healthcare costs. The reason is that it leads to many chronic diseases such as Alzheimer's or malnutrition. But now comes the crazy part. Did you know that more than half of the elderly in the Netherlands are lonely? And I hate to say this, but my own grandmother is one of them. And that's why I spent 1.5 years to research the perfect solution with more than 100 older adults, which led to the Ibilight. The Ibilight connects you with your grandparent from anywhere in the world. It is placed in their living room, but you are the only one who can turn it on through an app. At the same time, they can send you notifications by just touching it. I already have 50 people signed up ready to test the Ibilight, but I only have one prototype available from my own grandmother. So if I win this challenge, I will have the budget to create 10 more Ibilights and launch a large pilot study.
Do you want to make your grandparent the happiest person ever? Then sign up on Ibilight.com and become a tester.
My idea grew much more than before, and there are more steps, defined steps, to get it into real life, and that is really exciting for me. If you have security cameras at your workplace, as a business owner, you may feel safe about your property. However, did you know that exposed security cameras can be vulnerable? Criminals are now able to detect or identify real cameras or dummy cameras and work out plans to disable or disconnect them. They can use camera blind spots to plan ins and outs to and from your business. Invisalign product is about detecting intruders without being detectable. This is done by an optical system making your camera and blind spots almost impossible to locate. So you can rest assured that no one will be able to sabotage your security cameras. With the UT Challenge Prize, we will step closer to finishing our prototype development, and you can help us to develop next generation security systems. So, whatever your business is, remember, with Invisalign, you're always one step ahead. Thank you.
I think that our idea is the best one at the moment, and so we are for sure gonna make the change. Did you know that more than 10% of the world population is affected by osteoarthritis, and that more than 18 billion euro are spent every single year just in the Netherlands for this disease? Osteoarthritis is a joint degenerative disease affecting the elderly population, in which we have high level of pain and a reduction in the motion. Also, my grandparents had this disease, and I know that there is no cure. Yes, you heard me well. There is no treatment for this disease, and the reason is that we lack the proper models to mimic it. And that's why, at the Joint on Chip, we have found a solution, a miniaturized system that is able to recreate the human tissue and hence mimic osteoarthritis. With this system, we aim at revolutionizing the world of drug development and find a new treatment that could potentially cure up to 60% of these patients, leading to a decreasing cost of billions of euros. So join us in this revolution and let's make an impact together.
I've had a lot of workshops. They were very insightful, and the organization was talking with passion, and yeah, everyone involved, a big thank you. And yeah, I think we learned a lot.
Look at this mess. This is how my student house has tracked their consumptions over the past years. But it's dreadful. Sheets get lost, people forget to track it, and it can take hours to fix properly. In the questionnaire with 60 students, 90% of the students had similar struggles and would like to have an administration that would fix this. So we introduced Streepn, a free-to-use mobile app that would help you with stock management, settle your expenses, and track your consumptions. On top of that, we provide you with data-driven deals. We show you where you can buy the cheapest beer when your stock is low, and who would like to get a deal for an evening snack when having a drink. All of this from the ease of your pocket. We are currently prototyping our idea in 3 student houses and have 1 paying advertiser. With the prize money of the UT Challenge, we can launch our app to a much greater audience. So vote for us.
We prepared a good pitch over the last weeks. We are currently preparing the Q&A session. We are looking at videos from the last years to prepare typical questions that come up in the Q&A session.
Team sport is messy. Try to track every player. You and the coaches probably couldn't. Why? That's because you didn't have the right perspective. We can solve that. With Tractive, coaches gain a perspective they never had before. By using computer vision and AI, we created the overview coaches of all skill levels always wanted. They can easily access this overview on their smartphone or tablet. You simply need to install this box in your sports hall to get all those features. In the future, Tractive will deliver feedback on individual player performance. The solution is here. Let's play together.
Great projects with great pitches once again. Unfortunately, last time we forgot to give a nice round of applause to the Ideation category, so let's make it twice as loud for Ideation and prototyping.
Woo! Well done.
Thank you very much, yeah. Voting is again possible. You have 30 seconds from now on to vote on your favorite for the prototyping category. Good to see so many votes come in. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, indeed. Thanks for voting and joining us again digitally from home. And as being said, I'm quite impressed by all the pitches, because we know that I hear hundreds of pitches a year, but it's not that they had months to prepare, so it's a few days, and maybe they look comfortable if you sometimes see them in a shot in the background or next to us, but we're getting into the last category, so it means that after that we're almost going to decide who has to stand here and pitch for these category winners, for prize money and all these kind of things. So if you're sitting comfortable, still do for another maybe 10 minutes, but then maybe start feeling a bit more nervous, because it's almost time to see who is winning. But also in the next category, it's going to be tough, because we have quite a strong group of startups in this 5th edition, this anniversary edition of the UT Entrepreneurial Challenge. And we, of course, expect a bit more from them. These teams have a complete business plan often, or a Chamber of Commerce registration, and are also some steps closer in pursuing their entrepreneurial dreams. Let's see the pitches in the category Startups.
It's been a big opportunity for us to, put our idea out there and make everything work out, and I hope it's just going to be even better in the future. Good afternoon, judges. I'm Eline, the project manager of Clear Sky. Here at Clear Sky, we love tinkering with drones by bringing a change into the world. However, one of the biggest problems the drone industry lies within in its development. There isn't a sustainable and efficient solution, a carbon-neutral alternative that can fly for hours on end doing the same task that battery-powered drones can do. Until now, meet Ethernet. Our mission is to make the industry more efficient and greener by operating on an almost carbon-neutral architecture. We designed our drone with modularity in mind, so it can perform a wide range of tasks such as surveillance, rescue missions in hard-to-reach areas, crop dusting, monitoring, etc. At the heart of Ethernet lies a power unit operating on biofuels composed of a hybrid ethanol engine, a highly sustainable choice. The ethanol is a biofuel that can be easily obtained from corn, sugarcane, or even algae. The process of producing this biofuel is highly sustainable. The modularity of Ethernet allows us to perform operations such as data collection and automatization. It's a key element in our development of the drone, as we aim to provide our customers not only with a sustainable drone that does it all, but with a product that can help grow their business more. Deploying such technology into the industry is no longer a question. It's only a matter of time and dedication. Thank you for your time.
We're not robots, and we shouldn't work in a robotic, repetitive way. This is the message that Flawless Work represents, and one of the biggest values of our company. Too many professionals have all their time taken by repetitive, manual tasks that aren't even their main works. They're stuck in this loop that leaves them drained of energy and frustrated with their work. At Flawless Workflow, we develop custom workflow automations from a user-end perspective that let our clients take back their time and focus on what matters to them. Because at the end of the day, your software should work for you and not you for your software. Our clients have reported back a total of 220 hours saved per month over this year, and that number is only growing. You may be asking, well, what can and should be automated, and how can I avoid this frustration with my applications? At Flawless Workflow, we say that if you have tasks that take longer than 10 minutes, are done at least once a week, can be described by information and involve data, if it's not automated, then it's wasting your time. If this resonates with you, get in touch and let us give you a truly flawless workflow.
It's always a nerve-wracking experience, especially if you have to pitch everything that you want to talk about in just 1 minute. but there's also a lot of positive excitement. Really looking forward to being part of this group.
In the Netherlands alone, there are up to 400,000 hospitalizations per year for patients suffering with heart disease. Not to mention waiting times of up to 7 weeks and average stays at hospitals of 5.6 days. With our advanced magnetic surgical robots, we aim to reduce this to 1 day per patient. Imagine already the impact on hospital costs, waiting lists, and the amount of patients that can be treated daily. My name is Dr. Christoph Jennis, and I'm building this venture on 4 years' worth of research at the Surgical Robotics Lab, together with the full robotics professor Sartak Misra. We also have the unfailing support of medical tech specialists and business developers at the University of Twente. Together, we are Flux Robotics. Our goal is to reach the market within the next year. We are already in contact with medical centers in the Netherlands who displayed first interest in clinical trials. By winning the UT Challenge, we hope to attract more team members to embark on this exciting journey of robots, magnets, and more.
It was really nice, and the director and the coach at the pitch really helped me out, and they made me feel comfortable and confident, and I don't know, I think we have a shot. Hi, I'm Danielle Phillips from Impulse International, and I'm here today to introduce to you the simple process of life cycle analysis. Basically, life cycle analysis looks at everything that comes into corporation when you purchase an average to everyday pair of jeans. Oops, sorry, that was me. But notice how when you hear an alarm, you automatically move? Well, us at Impulse, we use data-driven science as the sort of alarm to help you feel the urgency to act on climate change. We help you to realize that with every t-shirt you purchase, with every pair of jeans that you've bought, you increase the noise that is already existing of climate change. Now, we've given you an alarm, you've heard our urgency, it's time to act.
Did you learn something new last month? Maybe even today? Yes? I'm not surprised, because we're facing quite a lot of challenges, social, economical, ecological, technological challenges, and to be able to adapt to this new world, we need to learn something new every day. However, not all of us know how to do it effectively. Not even learning and development specialists know how to support everyday learning and how to help learners to learn effectively every day. That's why we decided to organize Lifelong Learning Lab. First of all, this is a safe place for learning and development specialists to come up with new approaches how to support everyday learning and how to do it effectively. Second of all, we provide courses for learning and development specialists. They can learn new approaches, they can experiment, they can create new programs that fit lifelong learning concept. And third of all, we provide consultancy for companies that want to create lifelong learning courses or programs for their employees. And with money that we're going to win, we want to spread the word about Lifelong Learning Lab all over Europe. Thank you.
I'm very confident. We have prepared a very nice pitch and we are really looking forward to it.
When you want to buy a custom gift online, you can do so without the hassle of taking phone calls or emails. You see the outcome directly, so you can place the order and receive the gift in time for the birthday party. And now I hear you thinking, why don't we have this for the metal industry? Well, if you buy a custom metal part, you're in for a long ride. Phone call after phone call and email after email. And that's because every company operates differently and there's no platform to collaborate on. And this results in longer delivery times than necessary. We have designed Metal Allies. It is a platform that streamlines the buying process of custom metal parts. It is easy to use, it saves money and leads to lower delivery times. If we win the UT Challenge, we will test and develop the platform with our partners in industry. So, if you want to become an early adopter and get a nice mug, reach out to us afterwards.
This year's edition, a lot of new, very inspiring people to meet, because I'm still looking for people willing to join me in my journey. And also being able to give some courage to other people and see the passion in them was amazing. Many things in life are uncertain, except death, taxes, and everywhere you go is plastic. And you might be thinking, yeah, I'm not neatly separating my plastic, it's being recycled, right? It is, but only 8% ends up in new products. And I think that's a shame, because plastic is a fantastic material. It's strong, durable, and waterproof. As such, we're presenting Modular. Modular is a system of plastic plates that can be puzzled into human-sized structures. Structures with a higher fidelity than tents, but a lower fidelity than actual temporary buildings. A seasonal bike rack, a event stand, or maybe even a refugee shelter. The possibilities are endless. Last year, with the help of the ASML Makers Award, we have set up a rapid iterative pre-production process in which we can get small-scale prototypes into the hands of people like you and me. With the UT Challenge this year, we can get a full-scale prototype to market within a year. So, whatever you're building, you're also building a better world. What are you building?
I am again really amazed with all these innovations. Thankfully, I don't have to decide on who's going to win. Mike, do you by any chance have any type of idea, some startup catch your eye maybe?
I will definitely also, of course I want to have that mug, but that's also the reason why I'm standing here as a host instead of being in the jury, because yeah, most of you are all related also to our programs at Novelty, of course, and if we didn't trust in the ideas or the things that you pursue, yeah, we wouldn't also join you on that. So am I biased? Yes, but then I have to pick on all 20. So let's really leave it up to the jury.
Yes.
And of course,
the audience, yes. So you have your chance again, your last chance to vote for the startups in the startup category. Again, you have 30 seconds, so pop-up will come on your screen, and let the timer start now. Thanks a lot, everyone. Voting is over, and we're now going to start counting.
Yes, now the exciting part really starts, not only for the audience prize, but also, yeah, it's of course a good job from all you finalists here, but that's actually it for the main part of the grand final, because it's now up to the jury for each category to select the 2 best projects to go on to the Q&A session with the jury. And as you notice, it will be going quite quickly, because all jury members already this afternoon took a closer look to all the profiles, because of course we don't, you at home maybe judge based on the 1-minute pitch. If you know people already, you're maybe biased and judge just for the fact that you're a family or whatever. But for the jury, of course, they really dove into the profiles, the deliverables, images, videos, documents, whatever they provided to check. And they, of course, saw the recorded pitches already, but also could make like a final decision still to change some things. And there are people here with earpieces that quickly change things if necessary. So that's why I'm rounding up a bit to see if they're almost ready for the results.
Yeah. Each of our 3 juries consists of 3 people, 1 from each of the initiators of the UT Entrepreneurial Challenge, right here from our campus. And 2 of them from our partner network. They will all be introduced to you, of course, during the Q&A sessions.
Yeah, and if you again are in the chat already saying Q&A, we didn't do buzzwords or whatever. If you really don't know that, it's probably what you think it is, because it's question and answer, and it's the perfect opportunity for the jury members to ask 1 question each to the 2 projects they like most from each category. The finalists selected for the Q&A sessions kick off with a 1-minute pitch. So you have to do it here live on stage without sheets or whatever, just on the camera towards the jury. After which they will have the chance to answer these jury questions.
Yeah. Remember that even when not getting selected, there's still other prizes to be awarded at the end. Mike, don't leave us hanging here for much longer. Please share which 2 teams are joining us for Ideation Q&A.
Yeah, and I have a lot of things on my cards, but that's not what I have on my cards. So are the envelopes ready? They are. Yeah, this is these exciting moments. And we just hosted the Eurovision Song Contest, of course, in the Netherlands. So then we really delay it longer and longer and longer. And to talk it through, no, it's not that I want to talk it through, it's more that I don't get the envelope open. We're a technical university, not per se practical. The first finalist, and then of course, you know the drill, almost come downstairs because we're first going to introduce some other things. But the first finalist, or finalist, real finalist at the end, you're all finalists. Again, now I'm really stretching it, so you probably want to know right now. We have, of course, now have a live audience again. So normally when it's digital, they cannot attack you, maybe only in the chat. Now they're here, so we really need to speed up, otherwise people come running down and attack me. So the first finalist in the category Ideation is Clever Worker. Well done, and prepare yourself and make sure you're ready to be on this stage. And the second finalist in the category Ideation is Rapid Nose. And while they are walking down, let's see the jury in the category Ideation.
My name is Robin Geerdink and I'm Managing Director at Rabobank. At Rabobank we find it very important to stimulate innovation and entrepreneurship, and it's our business to finance startups and scale-ups. As a jury member, I mainly focus on scalability and the contribution to sustainability. I wish you all good luck.
My name is Florian Overkamp. I'm the founder of SpeakUp. We are one of the oldest cloud communication companies in the Netherlands. And as a technology company, we try to envision new ways to help you freely and easily communicate with the world at large. Many startups need to pivot to survive. In this finale, I will be looking at the team's bigger vision behind their ideas and how adaptable the idea can be towards the future. With that, I wish all of the teams the best of luck in this UT challenge.
My name is Rainer Harms. I'm Associate Professor for Entrepreneurship at the University of Twente, the Entrepreneurship and Technology Management Group. I'm proud to be a member of the UT Challenge because to me this is the capstone of all student entrepreneurial effort that has happened during the entire academic year. The UT Challenge brings it all together. As a jury member, I look for the sweet spot where technology meets the quadruple bottom line of people, purpose, planet and, well, profit. I wish the participants good luck with their efforts today and in the future.
So with me on stage now, Luc from Clever
Hello.
Worker. Welcome and congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
You made it, at least to do the Q&A. At least let's give Luc one more round of applause because he's the first one also to motivate him. Because of course during the introduction Luc was standing here already and all the others are watching like, okay, how is this going to work? But you really have to experience it. So that's, I don't know if it's an advantage or, but I'm confident that you will make it happen. Also, of course, joining me on the screens here, the jury members, with also the jury chairman, Reine. Good to see you. And also the others, of course. Reine, are you ready for some tough questions and some hard decisions?
Well, absolutely. So the team and I deliberated. We have some detailed questions that tease out the profit part, for example, or the planet part. Let's see what the teams can answer to these aspects and decide who is of the two the one where we see the most promise.
Okay. Now, of course, the jury members know the drill. People at home, for you, the drill is in a second you can do your 1 minute pitch towards them. So we all know again, hey, what is Clever Worker? Because we just saw 20 pitches. Of course, the jury members know more. That's also the reason why they can ask some questions. So they have 2 questions in total, and you have 90 seconds to answer that question. There is a timer behind you, just for the sake that you don't get nervous by putting that in your face, but it's still there because that's fair towards others, because if you do a whole epistle of 10 minutes, it's maybe not really fair to use that time. So, are you ready to do your pitch?
Yeah.
Take your
I think
time.
so.
Timer starts ticking when you start talking, and I wish you good luck.
Thank you very much. More than a year ago, the world woke up to a new normal. I'm sure by now you all recognize the screen that you're looking at, though probably without the happy faces. Probably looked a lot more stressful and a lot less happy. We also face those difficulties, experiencing long working hours, lack of breaks, and just stress. I think of all the days that I spent stuck behind a computer screen, just like you are now. It made us go out on a quest. What could we do to solve some of these difficulties and these issues of this new digital workspace? The central recurring issue that we found is that there are simply no work applications designed with the user's well-being as their top priority. Well, Clever Worker sets out to change this, as we will create the first of a new kind of work scheduling application. Clever Worker uses modern technologies and workflow theories to decrease your stress while increasing your productivity. Our goal is to put human well-being back as the #1 priority. Thank you.
Wow, well done. I think if you base it on the pitch already, it's indeed, this is like smoothly, it can't go any better, I would say, so well done. But again, you're a jury that makes a decision on winning something, but also attention and a prize. So, Reiner, the first question from your side.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me stress that I'm only the one that's asking the question. The questions are from all 3 jury members. We debated on what could be the most crucial one. And as an academic, I can, almost talk on forever, but I just cut to the chase and ask this question. So, when we were seeing your proposal, the idea was, the question that we had in mind was, there might be many ways to generate revenue with it. It can be a standalone project. It can be embedded in an ecosystem of HR software, any type of productivity software. So with this situation, we want to give you the opportunity now to say a few more words on how do you generate revenue with your product?
Yeah, so how we thought would be best to approach it for the type of service that we want to supply is that we first wanted to actually sell this product to businesses, not on an individual basis, but sell it to organizations, because they think they can actually get the most benefits out of it. We would do this on a subscription basis, dependent on the size of the organization that is adopting the product, of course. And a 20-person organization will pay a different price than a 1,000-person organization. And with this subscription and this consistent revenue, we're able to continuously develop and improve our product. And we believe that also with it, we can create a consistent basis from a very early stage that we can use to further our idea.
Clear to you, because there are still 43 seconds, so I think it doesn't suit indeed for a professor that you're already on the business side, so like quite a short and time is money. Robin.
Yes, thank you. I'm impressed. I already work 16 months online, and employee well-being is very important also at our organization. When I look at Clever Worker, it seems for me that it's very workable for internal planning and also project organizations. Mm-hmm. But is it also possible to collaborate with clients, to involve clients in the scheduling?
So how we currently see it, not directly. Of course, if people who are using it have an appointment with a potential customer or have a scheduled activity and so on, it would be part of it. At the moment, it's not that the customer side can have a direct input, for instance, on the scheduling. It is all done from the business side, from the organizational side internally. It would be a really interesting function. Definitely something that we could, in a sense, discover. It would definitely add dimensions to the product. At the moment, we try to keep it small and centralized, so we can focus on all the details and make sure that the central parts are operating well and can all fit together. But so the short answer is no, there is no part from the customer side, but there is a more indirect relationship there, and there's definitely also potential there. Yeah.
Clear from your side?
Yeah, thank you. when you make that possible, Rabobank is interested in the system. It's a great system, I think. But yeah, scheduling with customers would be great.
That's good to know.
Now, thank you, jury members, for this first part. Of course, stick with us, and that's already something you can take in your pocket. As in, you're in the ideation phase, so
definitely.
Idea is still good enough. But even if you go forward, the Rabobank is in, and I know we will hear from you later on. But also, Florian, indeed, you can at least always count on Speak Up if it's not for coaching or other help to make these steps forward. I think you did great, like all within time, a great pitch. So you made it tough for these jury members, but thank you, Luc.
Thank you very much.
And you can take your place again, and then we will switch you up for rapid nose. Hannah, also an applause for you. You made it also towards here.
Yes.
You now know sort of the drill indeed. You get 1 minute to do your pitch again, but also 2 questions from the jury later on, and you have all the time to answer.
Yes.
Nice people, so they're just on a screen. So I know you're capable because the pitch recorded at least already looked great. So whenever you're ready, time starts ticking. Take your time for your 1 minute pitch. Good luck.
I'm sure most of you have had to wait up to 2 days for an accurate COVID-19 test, followed by 2 days of waiting for the test result. And it uses one of these, which is quite uncomfortable. What if I would tell you it's also possible to have a test result within a minute by simply breathing out? And this test can also be used for over 50 other diseases, including different types of cancer. I'm sure you would all be standing in line. We are 4 nanotechnologies and chemical engineers, and we have developed exactly what I just described. Our breath analyzer can detect within a minute whether you're infected with COVID, even if you don't have any symptoms. We will use the coming period and the prizes from the UT Challenge, hopefully, to further patent and validate our technology. Next to that, we will also optimize our system for other applications. With our device, these will go back to only being used to clean your ears. Thank you.
Well done. I have all the confidence, like when we don't have to use any of these things anymore and we can go back to the normal situation, that we, at least on the pitches, also managed to do that live again just on the stage, because everybody manages to stay inside. I promised already the team, at least mine of the team members, to not do the stupid jokes, but I would say, Florian, speak up.
Well, thank you very much. And thanks for the pitch. It was very informative. Now, we discussed that actually none of us are nanotech experts or medical experts in the field, but we did do some background searching, and I did actually find some other breathalyzer solutions people have been working on in the US as well, and some of them have actually been run for quite a long time. So with all of these examples in the breathalyzer direction, but also in other medical solutions, these take extreme amounts of money and time. How can you build a network around you to be one of the winning solutions?
Our strategy is actually indeed the medical field is a very difficult field to start in. So we're planning on starting using our sensor technology for other applications. So for example, we're right now looking in the food industry, where the rotting of fruit is a big problem. And once we have established that, then we are planning on expanding towards the medical field. Hopefully COVID will be gone by then, but there are many other diseases that can also be used detected with your breath, and we hope to target those.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Clear, thank you. Also within time, so you know what you're talking about indeed. There's maybe a competition or other things in the field, but there's also an answer and a consideration. Reine, back to you.
Yeah, competition was the starting point for our next question, which is that we've seen many similar applications already around. So the tests that you can do take 15 minutes. They might or might not be so accurate, but that's another debate. So I had to convince the jury members and giving you guys a shot and saying, hey, you're nanotechnology students, you have some technology up your sleeve that makes your product better than other solutions on the market. So our question is, what are the key performance categories of your product? And how do you compare to others in terms of your technology delta?
We are in the ideation phase, so we haven't validated our technology. But what I think is one big difference between the breathalyzers that currently exist and ours is that they are mostly based on machine learning, which means that a COVID-19 person infected with COVID-19 has to breathe into the machine, so the machine learns how to recognize the breath. And you, of course, have the risk that if you have eaten something or something, it can influence your breath. And we have done an extensive literature study to come up with 6 different gases that are unique for COVID in that combination. And we're only looking at those 6 gases and not looking at any other gases that might also influence this fingerprint that the machine learning observes. And in theory, we don't require any calibration of the sensor at all.
Clear?
I think that shows that they know their tech. Yes, thank you.
That's good to see. Also really well done. Within time I constantly say, but it's also really proper answers, so you considered things. So thank you, Hannah. You can take your seats again. And thank you for this pitch and these answers. One more applause.
Also, I want to thank our judges, Robin, Florian, and Reiner. Good questions for sure. But now let's move on to the next phase. Now let's see who are the 2 projects who got selected for the Q&A of the category prototyping.
Yeah, and for that, of course, we get the envelope again. I will speed up a bit. So for the people that thought, is it really getting that nervous the whole time? Probably, but I now know how the envelope works at least, and that already helps. You all now know the drill. So you saw, I think, some great examples. So it's not only standing on the stage, but they also really put the bar on stage quite high. So I would say we're already proud, but make us even more prouder if you're going to make it to the stage in a Q&A in a second. And the first finalist in the category prototyping, oh, not my cards, is Allroot. And the second one, and of course, no, if you're not making it to the stage, there are still other prizes later on, audience prize, ASML Makers Award prizes that you can win, so it doesn't end here. But there's only one extra place here. Do you feel already the tension and the pressure?
Yeah, for sure.
Now then, let's just mention who it then is. The second one going to the final on the stage here in the category prototyping is Ibilight. So congratulations, and while you of course can almost come down already here in the studio in the Waaien 1. It's unfortunately not a time up to us to make the decision, but it will also maybe good because we have some proper jury members that will do that. Let's watch the video of the jury members in the category Ideation.
Hi, my name is Paul Lerman. I am ASML's CS Director for Business Capabilities. ASML is the world's largest maker of lithography machines. These are used to manufacture integrated circuits, also known as semiconductor devices that run your car, your phone, your computer, and just about everything. ASML is also a sponsor of the Makers Award. As a jury member, I will be looking for innovation and unique problem-solving techniques. Therefore, I wish all the teams good luck, and remember to have fun.
My name is Mark Wiebes. I'm an innovation manager in Dutch National Police. In policing, we are very interested in new ideas for better policing, and that's why we participate in this challenge. As a jury member, I will have a keen interest in the feasibility of the things that you will bring. I'm looking forward to meet you on the challenge day.
I'm Miriam Iljohan, co-founder and manager at Designlab at the University of Twente. Designlab is here to help co-create the future we want to live in together with society, with researchers and students. And that's exactly what I'm looking for in these students here at the UT Challenge, seeing how they co-create something together to make the difference for tomorrow. I would like to wish all of you the best of luck in bringing this all to a success, whatever that may be for you, whether that is looking into social implications or looking into making your own business.
Yeah, some familiar faces also in the jury, also the chairwoman of the jury, Miriam Iljohan. But of course, first of all, on stage here, Lucas from Allroot, you made it to the final moment. You saw, of course, the jury members now, so they're maybe even more friendlier than the ones that we had in the category Ideation. Is it not, Miriam?
It is definitely Mike.
Now, I hope that you still know what Allroot is doing, but you probably know because you made the decision to let him go to the final stage. But just to clear up for the people at home, and again for the jury to show that it's not only a video, you have 1 minute pitch time. There's a clock behind you, but don't worry, we know that you're able to do it within the time. And whenever you start talking, your time starts, so take your time.
Perfect. Dear passengers, in the Netherlands alone, 1.3 million people take the train each day, and you are probably one of them if you go to your work or your family. But how frustrating would it be if your train journey is disrupted by some confused person? Or how embarrassing if you pay for your tickets, but other people don't? Train conductors are there to resolve these issues. However, they are not deployed efficiently. Nico and I are two mathematicians, and we don't like inefficiency. That is why we created a data-driven algorithm that sends train stewards to the right place at the right time. With the prize money that you are dividing, we will get our prototype into practice. Together, we will achieve better safety, better service, cheaper train tickets with fewer resources. All aboard. Thank you.
Wow. Well done. Well done on your pitch, but there are also some probably tough questions, and the first one is from Miriam.
Well, definitely not for me, but I just want to say, wow, it was not easy for us to choose. I think we deliberated for a long time to choose. So for all of you in this category of prototyping, we are so proud of all of you. And we didn't just look at social impact and the innovativeness, but we also looked at how we collaborate together. So I'd like to give the words to Paul, because he is the one who's going to ask the first tough questions out of our category. Paul?
Okay, so like Miriam, I found the decision-making to get to this point very difficult. A lot of very good ideas that are popping up. For yourselves, your idea sort of intrigued me for a number of reasons, and I'm looking towards the day when you can do this real time. And what type of computing needs do you see on this? And does your algorithm also use some type of AI or machine learning in order to become more predictive as it learns in real time? And will this be held on a handheld device, or is this going to be using basically linked to cloud data and computing? So I'm looking more on the technical side.
Yeah, good question, of course. Yeah, to answer the last question first, we want to integrate this algorithm in an app on the handhelds of the train conductors, so they can see at all times where they need to go. And we want to make it real time too, so that if there's any information on delays or other incidents, then the algorithm will do a recalculation, and then the train steward will get an alert, and then an alert that he has to that his routing has been changed. We do not use AI or any machine learning. We use a mathematical optimization tool that is based on data on, for example, fines, also passenger numbers, and incidents. And combining these three factors, it will give a score to a certain line part of a train line. And that is used in a mathematical, it's called a mixed integer linear program for all the mathematicians over here. That's what we use. It's not AI, but it's something else. Yeah, but it works as well. Yeah. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, thank you.
It's a technical question, so also a proper technical answer indeed. So I don't know if the people in the chat can answer also these kind of questions. Second question, Miriam is from?
Mark. Mark's going to ask the second tough question we've got here.
Thank you, and I'm also much impressed by all the initiatives and all the ideas that we came across. I have a question for you, and it's about portability. So I can see that your idea would work in trains and conductors, but similar problems exist in, for instance, policing. So how portable would your algorithm be to be used in the way we use comments or rights or the way we go about policing and using our materials as well?
Yeah, excellent suggestion, I would say, even. So we are focusing on trains first. We want to get it to work there. But then I can definitely see also applications for police. For example, you have a lot of policemen and women patrolling on the streets. You can do that with our algorithm too. You can get a score for a certain area in the neighborhood with a lot of incidents and maybe past crimes. And then we can make our algorithm, we can change it, but I think it would work in the same way as well. So that's a good suggestion. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd like you to think on that.
I'll do. Yes.
No, where we first at Rabobank, you probably already also in the prototyping category have a sort of client maybe in the police that can also help you out. Well done on the pitch and questioning. It's now up to them to decide. So you can take back your seat.
Thank you.
Lucas from Allroute. And then joining me on the stage is Sephora. You can quickly squeeze the microphone a bit downwards.
Thanks.
Not that because you're small, he's really large.
Yeah.
Also for you, you've pitched many times before, so we know you're capable of, so you also have 1 minute to do your pitch. Good luck.
Thanks. So, loneliness in elderly causes a yearly increase of 50% in healthcare costs. The reason is that it leads to many chronic diseases, such as Alzheimer's or malnutrition. But now comes the crazy part. Did you know that 50% of the elderly in the Netherlands are lonely? And it's hard to say this, but my own grandmother is one of them. And that's why I spent 1.5 years to research the perfect solution together with more than 100 older adults, which resulted in the Ibilight. The Ibilight is a lamp that connects you to your grandparent from anywhere in the world. It is placed in their living room, but you're the only one who can turn it on using an app. At the same time, they can send notifications to you by just touching it. I already have 50 testers lined up waiting for their first Ibilight, but I only have one prototype reserved for my own grandmother. So if I win this challenge, I will have the budget to create 10 more Ibilights and launch a large pilot study. Do you want to make your grandparent the happiest person ever? Then sign up on Ibilight.com and become a tester.
Wow. Well done, indeed. Miriam.
Yeah, definitely well done. And we did look into all of the things that are being made in healthcare at this moment and technology that can help elderly. And we've got a couple of questions for you. I'm not going to ask you because I think I've asked you questions in the past before. So I'm going to give the word right to Paul. He's got the tough question for you there, Sephora.
So I first wanted to say I really liked your idea. So and I found it not only to be challenging from the thought process, but also from the heart. Looking for a solution for your grandmother, I think really hits close to home. And so my question is related to what type of cost are we talking about in order to get the feasibility study going? And if you do this, if you ramp to 10, what's next? And what do you expect your learning is going to be from that?
Yeah, thank you for the questions. I will start with the first one. So one Ibilight to produce it costs around 100 euros. But what I'm struggling with right now is that I only have an Android app and I want to also have it for iOS because a lot of testers only have an iPhone. So to accommodate to them, I need both platforms. The second question, what I want to study with this pilot study is I want to find out how much it reduces loneliness with the UCLA loneliness scale, so do a real research study. And the second point from a business side is what business model would fit best, because now we're thinking about a subscription model or a purchase model, but we are not sure what's the best solution. So those are the things you want to research. And the next step after that, to answer your third question, is that we want to launch a Kickstarter campaign where we ask the crowd, since it's made by the crowd, we also want to ask the crowd to finance the next step and to become part of the Ibilight movement.
Quite clear indeed, and you already see that if you get one question each, that people are entrepreneurial and indeed make that one question into 1A, B, and C. Miriam, the second question is from?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Sephora, for that great answer to the question, because I think you made it spot on. I think Paul's ticked all his boxes of his questions, but Mark's got something lined up for you as well.
Yeah, sure. I was much impressed by your idea, and I think that you addressed a real problem that we experience in our society these days. So good for you. My question would be on the technical side, since most of the people you will address are probably not digital natives. How are you to go about the installation, if you will, in the functionality on the side of your grandmother, and how are you to go about the security of the communications that you will have between the grandmother and the grandchild in this perspective?
Yes, so let me start with the first question again about technological, how they interact with it. So it is designed to be really easy to use. You don't need any language. There is no difficult interface or anything. They just touch it, so that's their side of the prototype. How you set it up, it is based on the one who buys it, so it should be a present to your grandparents because you want to show them that you're there for them and that you love them. So you should give it to them, and it's up to you to set it up, but of course a nice neighbor can also do it for them. And the second part was, sorry, can you repeat the second part of the question again?
Oh, well, it's about the security of communication.
Oh, security,
but, since you don't want anybody to intervene.
Yes, so we have a prototype available, but the security is not that high. You're right, because we haven't spent that much budget on buying the right license for the right protocols and these kind of things. But this is something we will look into when we have more budget to develop a better app for that.
Okay. Great. And on the positive side, I take from your answer that the grandchild will have to visit grandmother to bring
of course.
the present.
Yeah.
Which is good as well.
Yeah.
Good for you. Thank you.
For sure, indeed. Thank you. So maybe indeed already some extra money to also cover that. Thank you also. It's now up to the jury. So thank you, Sephora from Ibilight.
Also, thank you to our jury, Paul, Mark, and Miriam, for your great questions today. That brings us to the last category and last Q&A of today, the startup category. Who will join us here on stage as the golden envelope comes by?
Yeah, and we're now speeding up a bit, just for the sake that the category startup is already pitching on contests and doing all these kind of things normally, so they probably know the drill and had these kind of experiences and feelings on waiting or like getting that excitement way too much already. So let's just see how they make it here on stage in their pitch and the things they do. So the first finalist here on stage for the Q&A in the category startups is Flux Robotics. Congratulations, and I know that that person at least is not here, but we will make sure that there's a digital connection in the making right now. Second one for the Q&A in the category startup, here on stage, live at least also, is Flawless Workflow. So well done on all the other startups. There are still prizes to win, but only 2 that can join here on stage in front of a proper jury that you can see right now.
My name is Nele Valkeners. I work for the Ministry of Defense as a Project Innovation Manager. We connect companies, knowledge institutes and governmental organizations to the Ministry to check out where we can develop together, enhance technology and become stronger together. As a member of the jury, I will focus on the technical feasibility of your plan, but also the business model that you guys thought of. So I'm very curious to see what you came up with.
My name is Max van Heijst and I'm Interim Director Procurement and Contract Management at Rijkswaterstaat. Rijkswaterstaat is a government agency responsible for our national highways and our water systems like canals, rivers and our coastline. We employ about 9,000 people. We face large challenges like climate change and digitalization. So we and our private sector partners need new talents and people who can think out of the box. Leon Hombergen and a colleague will participate in the jury. Leon, where will you focus on?
We will focus on sustainability and circularity. Good luck in getting the most out of the challenge.
My name is Lea Milovic. Some of you might know me from the UT Challenge Access Talks. I'm the co-founder of Inkbeams and BobClean, and I work at Novelty as a business developer. Novelty is a business unit here at the University of Twente, helping to bring ideas of both students and researchers to the market via all kinds of programs. Novelty is one of the founding partners of the UT Challenge. The challenge is an excellent way to help bring these kind of innovative and new ideas forward. During this challenge, I will be focusing on the construction of the team and the brilliance of your ideas and the potential it might bring into the market. I wish you all good luck and a lot of success.
Yes, welcome jury members, some familiar faces also, and of course a colleague, always good to see. I'm of course standing in front of you, but I will not do the Q&A, nor I will do the pitch, so if I'm correct. Also Christoph is here, congratulations.
Thanks, thanks Mike.
Did you expect it?
Well, I rented an Airbnb specifically to have internet today, so I had my expectations, and I'm glad that I was correct.
Now, you know the drill. Because you're already watching the show, of course, you have 1 minute to make clear again to the jury, but they, of course, know already a lot about you, but also for the people at home watching to tell what Flux Robotics is doing. So the 1 minute is yours. Good luck.
In the Netherlands alone, there are up to 400,000 hospitalizations for people that suffer from heart disease. Not to mention waiting times of up to 7 weeks and average stays at hospitals of 5.6 days. With our advanced surgical robots, we aim to reduce this to 1 day per patient. Imagine already the impact on hospital costs, waiting lists, and the amount of patients that can be treated on a daily basis. My name is Dr. Christoph Jennis, and I'm building this venture on 4 years worth of research originating from the Surgical Robotics Lab, together with a full robotic professor, Sartak Misra. We also have the unfailing support of medical tech specialists and business developers at the University of Twente. Together, we are Flux Robotics. Our goal is to reach the market within the next year. We also are in contact with medical facilities in the Netherlands who displayed first interest in conducting clinical trials with our first prototype. By winning the UT Challenge, we hope to attract team members to embark on this exciting journey of robots, magnets, and more.
Nice, well within time and well done. Also Christoph.
Thank you.
So jury members, it's now up to you to ask some tough questions because this is the category startup, so we expect a lot. So you can be tough, don't have to be nice. Talking about not nice, no kidding. Let's go for the first question to Erik or Leon.
Yes, well, thank you, Christoph, for your very good presentation and also the data that you give us to convince us that it's a good idea. But there's one thing I'm missing about it, and that's the patient itself. What is in for it for the patients? How about his own experience? Is it more effective? Is it more efficient for him? Tell me a bit about the perspective of the patient in this.
Thanks, Leon, for that very good question. It's something I'm also personally interested in focusing on. Since this prototype is what we call a teleoperative system, it allows the surgeon to operate from a distance in order to reduce radiation exposure. Okay, well, that answers some question regarding how the safety of the surgeon is concerned. The safety of the patient, this system should be able to operate on patients on a much shorter duration. So that results in a shorter intervention time, which improves the recovery time of a patient. So since we are also using magnets that are attached to robots, these magnets are operating from outside the body of the patient as opposed to instruments that are quite bulky and large inside the body. In that way, we also aim to reduce the amount of instruments and the size of instruments that are actually used for surgery inside the body.
So most probably he will recover more easily and less painfully. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Thank you.
Nice, thanks, indeed. Nele, Ministry of Defense, robotics for sure, but how do you see this and what's your question?
Yes, well, that's a good one, Mike. This question is going to follow from the function not at the Ministry of Defense, but because I'm also the owner of a medical device company specialized in electrophysiology, I'm going to try to make a tough question, but not on the contents, more. And I was wondering, how will your device, because normally when we enter an OR, sometimes that's a problem. How do you make your medical device match with the old equipment already in the OR? Of course, those ORs, and you know them by heart probably, all the devices, all the equipment ready and settled to be used. It's very high technical equipment. How do you fit your Robotica into all the existing equipment? Because they will not be able to change in all OR because of your system. Is it adaptable? Is it interactive? How do you implement it in the existing equipment?
Well, Nila, thanks for that question. There are two ways that I foresee this to happen. First is to actually integrate it in an already existing operating room containing CT scanners. In this way, that the system can already be attached. Since it's mobile, it can already be attached next to the operating table, therefore making it quite easy to integrate with what is already inside the hospital room. Secondly, the footprint of this prototype is quite small. So adding this would be merely adding an additional card to the operating room. And since the system is actually replacing some of the equipment, think about ultrasound scanners, catheter inserters, other diagnostic equipment, this system is sort of the whole package. Okay. So it will not be added to these other devices, but rather replace them. Hopefully then adding to a much less cluttered operating environment.
Okay, thank you.
That sounds good indeed, Christoph. Well done on your questions and answers. Again, it's now up to the jury to decide, and you have competition in this category.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Christoph, and let's get on stage Gianni from Flawless Workflow.
Hello.
Gianni, nice to see you here indeed.
Thank
this
you
is
very
exciting,
much.
I think.
Very exciting.
To stand here in front of 4 jury members that, of course, know what you do. But again, also for the people at home, we know you're capable to do the pitch also, while we saw one of your companions, of course, online. But you're going to show that you're as good as him also in pitching in the coming minutes. So take your time. Whenever you start, the clock starts ticking.
Thank you very much. Millions of workers these days spend their time in repetitive tasks that could be automated. They spend a lot of time in processing data, administrative tasks. In fact, a known journal in Netherlands reported, speaking of medical care, that a lot of doctors are leaving because instead of having time to treat their patients, they actually have to process data about them. So flawless workflow, automate your workflow from the user perspective. In that way, we save hours of time, money, and human potential. Thank you very much.
Wow, well done.
Thank you very much.
It's now up to the jury to ask you some questions, but I think you made it quite clear what you're doing, also making lives better in a different sense. Leah, of course, we had in all these talks that people ask you all the questions as the expert from also Novelty. It's now time for you to ask questions back.
Yeah, so thank you for a great pitch. We, of course, had some questions. And, well, while deliberating, for us, it was interesting. We're talking about automating hundreds of processes for each company or for each sector individually. How are you going to tackle that? Because there are so many different processes that need to be automated. And we're talking about very specific processes here. Yeah. So when you are talking about your own customers, how would that look like? How you're going to automate the whole working flow of a company? And also, what will be the social aspects into that? Because the workers at the work floor actually have to work with this new system. So have you thought about that?
Yes, thank you so much for your question. Well, the way we work with our clients at the moment is that normally they come to us, they have a problem. They have to do a lot of repetitive tasks and so on. So we look at the workflow at a specific client and we say, okay, you can automate this, and save this much hours. So we have a team of coders, very specific to each language, actually coding language. And we have also a team of consultants. So the consultants see where the person can save time, and the coders can automate that. So the user part is really, really integrated on that. About how we gonna deploy this automation to different sectors is that we are focused on different disciplines, for instance, accountants, construction, and so on. And we see very, very similar issues within that. So if we have one project, then we can standardize that automation and have almost a web of automations out there for you to actually download your automation and save that time like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
yes, thank you.
Sure makes sense to me, but yeah, I'm not a jury member, as you already convinced me. Nele, did it convince you, or do you have more questions to ask?
I have one more for you, Gianni, and I think it's a very short question, because you have some competitors on the market. Probably you guys are already aware of that, and I saw and I heard mentioning again that you already have some clients, so things are running smoothly already. But still, we also were thinking about what is exactly, if I have to make a choice between all those competitors on the market, what is the uniqueness of your product? Why should I choose your product and not one of the others?
I can start why you should not select the others. So you have RPAs. RPAs are programs, standardized programs that kind of record your clicks that you do. The problem with RPAs first is that it's expensive. Then you have to train the RPA to what you're doing, so you waste a lot of time. And then it's very, very sensitive to what you are doing. So if you change a little bit your process, the RPA, the robot, doesn't work anymore. Then you have companies, developers. Developers just want to sell you a standard application. They don't really want your input on that. They just say, this will work for most work you're doing. Then there's flawless workflow. So flawless workflow actually sits down with you and see your needs. Or you go to our web shop and you can ask our consultants if that's the best solution for you. And in that way, we automate according to you, custom to your workflows. And yes, we already have clients. For instance, Smith from Countess Smith already can have back his Saturdays because he used to spend a lot of work in automating invoices and so on. The CFO from Wortman can already connect the SAP and AFAS and Excel, so the financing reports are already made. So that way they already saved a lot of time and opportunities.
Nice, thank you.
I would almost say, do you need any more proof? Indeed, just mentioning a
By the
tree.
way, for the water board, we already have a project with the water board, so we are very welcoming for your needs also if you want to contact us and see.
And you know, Mike, when we get free weekends because of this product,
it's so much winning. Thank you, Gianni. Indeed, well done. You made it through. As a finalist, is now up to them because I think it's really a tough decision indeed because there is like impact on both sides from people's lives to also need free weekends, whatever, on the whole processing. So you can sit down now for a while. Maybe we see you back on the stage. Thank you, Gianni from Flawless.
Also, thank you to our jury for their amazing questions, Nili, Eric, Leon, and Leah. It's really cool to see how these startups are already in the next couple phases of creating a startup and how they're already working with customers and clients. But now the jury, like Mike has already said, has a difficult job to decide who will be awarded the Ideation, Prototyping, and Startup Awards worth over 12,000 euros in awards.
Yep, so I would say stick with us because in the coming final minutes, they're going to make these decisions. And in a few minutes, we start already handing out some of the prizes because by now we know, for instance, already the audience prize and some other prizes that processed throughout this whole show. So stick with us for the final moments and the exciting moments where you can use the chat to applaud and all the people here can be an applauding machine already. Of the whole award show and who will get the prizes. But before we do that, there's also a startup that actually joined the UT Challenge in the first edition in 2017 also, while nobody heard of them. And now you could applaud almost the whole day because in the early phase they already got 2.5 million as an pre-seed investment. Then they had the Series A, all kind of tough words, doesn't matter, of almost 12.7 million, and they just graduated almost last year. So it's really making also impact and challenging. So let's look back to this competition or contester in 2017 with one of the most nicest successful startups at this moment at the University of Twente, CodeSandbox.
Hello soon-to-be founders. My name is Yves.
And my name is Bas. And we are the co-founders of CodeSandbox.
CodeSandbox is an online development platform. This means that it's possible for anyone to write code in the browser from anywhere. This is similar to how Google Docs made it possible to write documents in the browser. But we do this for code. This makes it much easier for people to share code with other people, but it also makes it much easier for people to collaborate with other people, especially in a remote environment. When we did the UT Challenge, we were quite young. We just released the first version of CodeSandbox and didn't really know how people would use CodeSandbox. So when we did the UT Challenge and started talking to companies because of it, we learned a lot of how companies value different features over the others. And that helped us finding out what to prioritize first. So the UT Challenge helped us a lot with finding what is the exact thing that we need to build first and what to build after.
Our future plans for CodeSandbox are to grow the team with our recent investment and to expand the platform to allow for more use cases. Our mission is to make coding accessible. Not only the developers will work with our product, but also designers, product managers, and testers. That way, we want to become the standard for web development.
If you are just starting out, our advice would be to release as soon as possible, because there are many ideas that are just an idea and never become something because someone decides not to release it and just tinker on it a bit more. The same happened with CodeSandbox. We were thinking of not releasing it after working on it for 6 months, but then at some point we released it and we're happy that we did.
We are looking forward to see what you will build.
That is such an inspiring stories from the guys from CodeSandbox, and we wish them all the luck in the next couple of years. Watch out for these guys from Twente. Mike, I think we are ready for the award ceremony.
Yes, I would say let's start it. Let's start this party going, or whatever you say like that. But at least let's just start with doing all these prizes, because it's time for that. And the last few years, the Twente University Fund used the UT Entrepreneurial Challenge as a background for the announcement of the winners of the Van der Kroonenbergprijs. And who better than G. Klein-Woltering, board member at the Twente University Fund, can tell us all about it. Please welcome G.
Thank you very much, Mike. I represent the Twente University Fund that supports the University Twente by financing activities that cannot be funded by regular means. Part of the foundation's efforts focus on awarding excellence and entrepreneurship like we are doing today. The Van der Kroonenbergprijs for young entrepreneurship fits seamlessly in the context of the event of today. We start with ideation, prototyping, startups, and now we are looking at a company that has gone through all those phases. It is awarded to an entrepreneur or entrepreneurs that have a clear link to the University Twente and who have demonstrated excellent entrepreneurship. The award is a tribute to the former Rector Magnificus Harry van der Kroonenberg, who has made every effort to stimulate entrepreneurship. This year, the award will be handed out for the 37th time. It consists of a monetary sum and a small statue of Harry van der Kroonenberg made by his daughter Mohanna van der Kroonenberg. The criteria for the award include the connection that must exist between the entrepreneur and the University of Twente, the innovativeness of the products and services, and above all, the demonstrable technical and economic viability. So it's not an award for starters, but it's an award for entrepreneurs who have proven future potential and growth opportunities. In that regard, the committee that awards the prize notes that there are many starters around the university, but relatively few companies that really break through. This is definitely something that needs more attention. But some companies do break through. We would like to introduce the winner of this year to you by video.
Ons bedrijf heeft een nieuwe vinding waarbij wij verkeerslawaai reduceren. En dat doen we eigenlijk op een hele andere manier dan kenbaar gebruikelijk is. Want je hebt eigenlijk normaal maar twee manieren om geluid te reduceren. En dat is één, dat is absorberen van geluid. Dat kent iedereen wel, met absorberende materialen. En het andere is, je kunt geluid tegenhouden. Bijvoorbeeld met een geluidsscherm of een wal. Wat wij doen is geen van beide. Wij veranderen het geluid van richting. Dus wat we eigenlijk doen is, we buigen het geluid af omhoog. Zodat het over je heen gaat en jij er minder last van hebt.
Dat ding naast mij is een zogenaamde diffractor. Een diffractor is een constructie die op een geluidsscherm kan worden geplaatst. Waarbij je hier ziet diepe sleuven en hier wat ondiepe sleuven. En deze sleuven, het geluid wat daarin ontstaat, resoneert. Net zoals een panfluit of een bierflesje waar je op blaast. En die zorgt voor het afbuigen van verkeerslawaai. We hebben verschillende producten. De Wish Tone reduceert het verkeerslawaai ongeveer met 2 tot 3 decibel. De Wish Wall, zoals we hiernaast staan, ongeveer met 8 decibel. En de Wish Top die geeft een extra reductie bovenop een bestaand geluidsscherm. En dan heb je een extra reductie van ongeveer 4 decibel. Het idee is eigenlijk ontstaan op de Universiteit Twente. Toen we onderzoek deden naar landweglawaai en onderzoek deden naar resonatoren. Dus golfpropagatie in dunne kanaaltjes. En ik heb heel veel samengewerkt met studenten en promovendi om dit soort dingen uit te ontwikkelen. Mede dankzij de universiteit hebben we heel veel kennis opgedaan voordat we begonnen met For Silence.
De droom voor de toekomst is, we hebben natuurlijk heel lang gewerkt om dit onder de aandacht te krijgen. Het moeilijke is om het in regelgeving ingebed te krijgen. Dat is inmiddels ook gelukt. Ja, de toekomst is om dit grootschalig toe te passen en uit te rollen in Europa. En we hebben tractie in Duitsland, Denemarken, Engeland. Ja, en wij willen van daaruit, moet gewoon de derde oplossing in geluidssanering worden.
The board of the Twente University Fund has unanimously decided to grant this year's Van de Kroonenberg Award to Isbrand Wijnand and Erik de Vries of For Silence in Enschede. They have succeeded in converting knowledge developed at the university into products that add to value to our environment and society and have proven to be economically interesting and ready for growth. As entrepreneurs, they have overcome the unavoidable hurdles of a startup and are ready for the next step. As persons, they complement each other and allow the company to grow. Isbrand and Erik, congratulations on winning the Van de Kroonenberg Award 2021.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Thank you.
And the statue for you.
Yeah. Wow. Thanks.
And please, you have time to say a few words to the audience.
Well, thank you very much. We didn't expect this, but it was a really, really nice surprise. And students and staff of the university fund, it really helped us to expand our business and to make a really, really nice company.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a very nice journey to do a startup like the guys here. We are a little further than that, but keep up the effort. It's worth every penny and every time. So thank you.
I think you're a very good example for all those people here for what they can be achieved if you just continue.
Yes.
Thank you. One more hand for the prize winners. And the floor is back to you, Mike.
Yes. Thank you. You all indeed, what you already said, maybe potentially in the future indeed you don't stand here in these other categories that we just saw, but you pick up the Van de Kroonenbergprijs.
Yes. Thank you very much, G, and also to the winners of the Van de Kroonenbergprijs, of course.
We are proud.
Yes.
But?
The next prize, of course, this is the audience prize. So a lot of our viewers, you, have voted for our finalists this afternoon. Thank you very much. If I'm correct, I have of course I already have it, but I have the golden envelope with the winner of the audience prize. So the winner with 24.5% of the vote from their category is Streepn.
Woo! Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Here you are. There's even a picture being made, so make sure you're right on the camera, that everybody sees that we didn't fake it. Well done, and anything that you want to say? Like, do you recommend everybody now to take a beer at home and make sure you use Streepn?
Exactly. In the future, near future, this summer, we're going to launch Streepn, and every student in every student house can make use of our app, so they can strepen or streep their beer.
Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, that makes sense indeed. If you already win the audience prize, you at least probably have an audience at home or a potential customer. The UT Entrepreneurial Challenge is also part of the for TU and the TU Eindhoven and TU Delft and the Wageningen University in Research organize, because they also organize similar contests. And from every university, 2 for TU Wildcard winners will have the opportunity to represent their university nationally later this year. So you will compete against the other universities. Good to know. Fresh news for the ones that maybe later on will get that award. This year, if everything goes well, but we have high hopes, the final will not be in the Netherlands, but will happen during Slush in Helsinki, one of the biggest tech conferences in Europe, where you have to represent the University of Twente, join us, Novelty, but also 50 others from Delft, Eindhoven and Wageningen at Slush. So if you're already nervous, really get nervous, because this is a high honor to get such a prize and to, of course, make our university proud. But yeah, if you then have such a high prize and you want to make this university proud, then you also need to make sure that the chairman of the jury is proud and also the professor here around entrepreneurship is proud. So we welcome back on stage Bart. Bart, this is an important prize, of course. So can you tell a bit what you focused on in these awards?
Well, these are the well-known lists. It's basically about the business model. So what kind of value proposition do you have? How big is your market? What kind of revenue model do you have? What kind of technologies are interesting? And it's a combination of all these things that plays an enormous role for the decision making in the juries. I had excellent jury teams actually who helped me being a chairman. But yeah, these are the type of considerations that they take into account.
That sounds good. So let's not longer wait. Who we will see representing the university at Schloss later on this year. And it will pop up on the screen, not one by one, but first the first one, and then of course we welcome them on stage, and then the second one. Let's see where the first 4TU Wildcard going to Schloss goes to right now. Flawless workflow! Congratulations! Representing the university at Schloss 2021, Gianni with flawless workflow.
Thank you so much.
There we go.
Thank you.
Wait a minute for the picture.
Oh.
Because this is an official moment.
Great.
Happy?
So happy. If I could thank someone, it's my team. I have an amazing team who make this all possible. And I would ask if there's any marketeer here, please contact us. We are looking for a marketeer. And if you want to automate your workflow, contact us too.
Great. Thank you, Gianni. And congratulations again. Flawless workflow. For sure, I'm sure they will make us proud as university to also, because it's nice that we work together, of course, with the 4 technical universities, but we still want to beat them, isn't it?
We have all confidence in their experience and we give it's great.
Yeah, so Delft, Eindhoven and Wageningen, if you're watching, prepare yourself. There are some nice Twente University startups going into your direction. But Flawless will not go alone. Let's see who the second wildcard will receive. Ibilight! Congratulations, Sephora! So, another one that will make us proud in Helsinki.
There it is, a long distance. There we
Yeah,
go.
thank you. I didn't expect it.
At least we have now pictures, so if nobody believes it and also doesn't expect it, we have proof.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, any words?
Yes, there were so many great startups and prototypes and ideas here, so I'm really honored that Ibilight was chosen to go to Helsinki, and I'm confident that the others will also do great things. So good luck, everyone.
Great, thank you, Sephora.
Let's wish them all the best. Thank you.
Bart, any last words to make sure everybody after this things like I also want to become an entrepreneur or want to join these kind of things? What should they do?
But I think that they already gave a great pitches today. So I think if you just continue doing that, then I have great confidence that we will be proud on the presence that they have in Helsinki.
Great. Thank you also for your role today. Thank you, Bart.
I'm happy to do so.
The University of Twente.
Thank you.
More checks, that's always good.
Yes, for sure. For our next award, we want to thank Creative Mules, a company set up by a former UT student and a two-time UT Challenge contestant, but also a University Innovation Fellow. A great combination, I believe. Bleb, can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect. Thank you very much. How are you doing, and how is it in Portugal?
I'm doing great, Tyne. Nice to hear from you again, and nice and sunny in Portugal. Hope you're doing great there.
Yes. Well, I haven't seen the weather in a while, but I hope it's nice and sunny here as well. What can you tell us about Creative Mules and the awards you're giving away today?
Yes, so Creative Mules, as you said, it was founded by me and my co-founder Corbinian. We both started about 4 years ago with our studies at the University of Twente in creative technology, and since then we grew to a team of full-time and contractors working remote first across about 7 to 8 countries. We're a team of 7 active employees and working many contractors, and we believe that design can play a big role in the success of a startup. So as a digital design studio, we focus on branding and web design. And the award we're giving out today are 2 branding packages with which we hope and believe they will help elevate those startups to the next level and help them in their journey to succeed.
Yeah, I definitely think design plays a really important role in the startup. As an investor myself, as soon as I see a nice company with a nice design, nice pitch deck, my impression just goes up 100 already. So let's not wait too long. Gleb, who is the first winner of the Creative Mules package prize?
Yes, of course. Before I announce the first winner, I want to say the decision was very hard. We were choosing with the whole team. Everybody gave their input, and if we could, we would support everyone. Unfortunately, we have to choose just 2, and the first winner is from the prototyping category. I want to congratulate Joint on Chip.
Woo! Joint on Chip! Coming down already to receive the first award of 2. So it's a bit rude maybe in some countries to give something with one hand, but I will still do. Congratulations. So. And hopefully this will be of great use for you.
Yes, thank you very much, because we want to start the company, and we're talking about this and design essentially the website is one of the key components. So thank you very much, and I hope to talk to you very soon, and thank you all.
Start to work. Thank you, Joint on Chip. We have one more.
Yeah, by the way, I think the check also looks really nice, which can explain why.
Prof's already
wow. Yes.
how they work.
Gleb, could you give us your second winner?
Thanks for the compliment on the check. And well, the second winner, once again, with a hard decision, but we're confident in our choice. We want to congratulate Flux Robotics.
Woo!
Oh, yes.
Christoph, you, I don't know how we,
yes,
I want to push it through the screen. Yeah, just grab it like as if it's...
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, I can just say that the hours of learning Photoshop has finally paid off. So thanks, Gleb, and preparado.
Thank you, Christoph.
Also, thank you, Gleb, very much for these amazing prizes. I hope that these companies can use this to their advantage and take the next step. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you indeed. Let's continue because there are more prizes to hand out. And you saw already them in the jury. ASML has been a partner for many years. And as one of the fastest growing tech companies, I probably don't have to explain much more about this Eindhoven-based company. And we are curious to who will win the ASML Makers Award this year with this great golden 3D printed challenge cup that you will see in a second. And therewith also the support from the great engineers at ASML worth €2,500. And Ale Ortega, Senior Communication Specialist at ASML, will enlighten us about the winner.
Hello, everyone. This is Ale Ortega, and I am a Senior Communication Specialist at ASML. Today, I am really happy to announce the winner of the ASML Makers Awards. The ASML Makers Awards was created back in 2015 in order to provide some financial and engineer support to the team that we consider was the winner. We selected the winner based on those projects that were more related to our core business and also the teams that we thought that we could add more value to them. So for today's competition, I am really happy to announce that we have selected a Lifelong Learning Lab as the winner. Congratulations, team, and also congratulations to the rest of the teams. All of you had amazing projects, and I hope that you get all the best of the success in the future.
Yeah, again an applause. Lifelong Learning, Victoria. Winner of the ASML Makers Award, this lovely statue that you can place, and even coaching. So, your response?
Wow, that's a surprise, and that's also quite heavy, by the way.
That's why I didn't give it to you. No.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's really great to know that ASML interested in our business and that we can get some coaching and some support from this company. So yeah, thank you a lot, and thank you a lot for information that's provided during this challenge. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this.
Thank you, Lifelong Learning. So,
yes, it is now time for our first of 3 category awards, Ideation. I want to first bring Rainer Harms to the stage to help us by giving out the prize. I'm just going to wait a couple seconds till he's here. Sorry.
Yeah, Rainer, we're shifting again.
Yes, my apologies.
Yes. Rainer, please join us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. You're not just someone on the screen, you're literally also a person here.
Yes. So now the question that we have for you, everyone I think is waiting for this. Who have you and your jury members selected to win this $3,000 check?
As always, a tough decision. So we wish we could have said it would be a clever worker, rapid nose, both of them, but it's only one of them. It is the one where we're thinking they have developed a more clear vision on what they were going to do. The ideation category being one where you can play most, but play with the foundation, play with empirical effort, play with getting to know the market as well as the technology. And our verdict was that one team has the more clear vision. And I can't do this with one hand. Thank you.
I'm not in the screen.
The clearest vision on the market that they're going to serve and the impact that they're going to have would be clever worker, in our view.
Woo! Clever worker wins the Ideation category prize and €3,000.
Unbelievable. This is crazy. Thank you so much.
Hey. And some confetti even.
Good job.
For the picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure it's being recorded indeed on the screen. Congratulations. Is it on the picture? Then a big thank you, congratulations, clever worker, and also congratulations and thank you, Rainer, for being here this afternoon.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for the teams. Good job.
Well done. So, and of course, there's more to come, not only more confetti that is here on the screen. Thanks, Tim. You can clean it up later on. But let's also continue with prototyping. And for that, we get somebody else on stage again. Yeah, of course. You know the drill. So normally I say like, hey, was it tough and all these stuff, but you know how these kind of things work. So I leave it completely up to you.
Yeah, I definitely do. So together with Mark and Paul, we really had a hard time deciding here. So we want to thank everybody for their amazing efforts because it was not only just in the prototyping, but for all of you guys here. It was with a warm heart because a lot of you guys I see around, walking around Designlab, just trying things out. And that's just the way to do it, right? Just try things, prototype them. And in our category, we really looked at the different effectiveness that we could have, the impact it's going to have, and the co-creation we did. So in both projects that we saw, we think they will both make impact for citizens, not just the impact on the rest of society, but just, citizens as a whole. So it was really nice. I guess we're going to have to go to who wins this prize. And I would rather say neither. But I'm going to say that Ibilight, you are going to win this prize.
Ibilight! Congratulations!
And for me, it's even more special because Sephora and I have been seeing each other around Designlab and how hard she's been working on this. So with this, I do want to say that I did not take part of this choice of who was going to win because I couldn't. As a manager of Designlab, we see each other a lot, so people might think that, but that's definitely not the case. So this was definitely Paul and Mark's choice, and we're very excited to see how far you could get. And for the other project for All Out, I must tell you, they definitely want to take a look at what the possibilities are, especially the police. So that's a tip. Take a contact with them. So congratulations to you, Sephora.
Let's make sure for the pictures are being done.
Oh my.
Ready in our hair.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks.
Anything to say, Sephora, or are you still scared of the confetti and the mess that... Thank you, Tim.
I want to thank the jury for choosing me and believing in Ibilight, and I hope to also see how far I can come really far. So thank you so much.
Great, thank you very much. Ibilight, winner in the category prototype, and also thank you, Miriam, and of course the other jury members. And that brings us already to the last, but for sure not the least award. So it's good to welcome somebody also from Novelty on the stage. The key focus of Novelty is, of course, startups. So Leah, please join us on stage. Because in a bit you're going to hand out 5,000 euros, the biggest prize that we have in this challenge. And of course, it's good to know that this is money, it's important, but as a founder, co-founder yourself, it's not only about money, but it's also really indeed about this whole setting, getting attention, but also making use of such a whole system. But still,
Definitely.
you need to make a decision. How did it go?
Yeah, it was a tough decision. We deliberated for quite some time. The competition has been great. I mean, for all the startups, not only the two that have went to the finals today, it has been really great. I mean, great ideas, great potential, a lot of technology and innovation, so that has been really great in itself. 5,000 euros is a lot of money, specifically for a startup. When you need to do a lot, you're going to go ahead and really go there into the market. So we're very proud of that. With the other judges, we have deliberated for quite some time. We basically chose one of them, the one that has had the most potential in terms of innovation. The teams both have shown quite a lot of motivation, so that has been very tough. But the social impact is also a very important one for us in this case. Mike, could you also hold this for me? So I could also look quickly at the notes.
To know for sure you say the right one.
Exactly. So, well, I mentioned the strong team, but we also looked at the visibility in the market potential that we have spoken about. It has been tough, but we have chosen to give our prize to Flux Robotics.
Flux Robotics! And there you are.
Hello.
Another one.
Thanks.
Oh.
Oh, I have also some confetti in my hair.
Congratulations, Christoph.
Thank you.
Your response?
Well, I would like to thank the jury. Definitely, their questions also allowed me to elaborate a bit on what is important, which is, how we treat patients, how we can help surgeons. And I definitely would like to say, keep a lookout for Flux Robotics, because this is not the last you will hear of us. Thanks.
That is a good promise already. Christoph, as you see on camera, I now give the check back to Leah, so she will make sure you get it back. But also, of course, next to that, with a lot of support also from Novelty, but that counts also for Flawless, as you know, and all the others. Thank you very much also, Leah. And that means that we know we're maybe a bit delayed, but we wanted to give all the startups and all the people that participated all the attention that they deserve. So I can imagine that you sometimes look at your clock and it's all about time. Now this is all about a challenge that wasn't only this afternoon. Because we're really proud that you all already for months spent a lot of time and effort on your idea, your prototype, or also your startup. And as many people also know here, and also for Silence, you can ask them later on, sometimes you win, sometimes you become second, sometimes you don't win in any competition. That doesn't say anything about the potential and the success that you have. So also from the whole system of the university, from Novelty, ATM, Designlab, Incubase, all the partners, but let's keep it for a bit, even at the university, we are not only proud, but we will make sure we help you out with whatever you need to also make sure that you can bring your ideas to the market and maybe also win other challenges or the money that you need or whatever to make sure things happen. So it doesn't end up here. But I think it is also good to not only thank the participants, but there is more to be thankful for.
Yeah, well, the UT Challenge was not just organized by the participants or by Novelty or by all the amazing people behind the scenes here organizing all of this. The partners, of course, the organizations, the family, the viewers at home, you're all part of this UT Challenge, and we're very thankful that you're all here. Actually, before I give the word back to Mike, I wanted to say one small thing, actually. As you heard today during the pitch sessions, lots of these startups are open to having more people to work on their projects together. So reach out to them. For sure, some of you sitting at home might think, oh, wow, how did they come up with these amazing ideas? Well, not everybody has come up with these amazing ideas. Everybody can contribute to these startups that we're pitching here today, and they already took one step forward. So you can try to reach out to them and see how you can add value to their startup. And possibly you can be the next big thing.
100% indeed. So indeed, check them out, see where you can have them. Also, thank you, Tijn. It was really an honor to present this together with you, to share that stage. But now it comes really to an end. And if you're watching at home, if you're a student, if you're some kind of partner or whatever related, as in for you, it can also start even with, for instance, the UT Challenge. While knowing that that maybe cost another year, luckily at this university you can start with bringing ideas, making impact, bringing solutions to problems to the market actually already today. So make sure you, if you want to do these kind of things, look up what is all possible. Still use the chat to ask these questions. Drop by at Novelty, Incubase, Designlab, because they know how to help you out, and there's even much more next to that. So again, a big thank you for joining us. I hope you saw a bit of what we are as a University of Twente, the most entrepreneurial university, as we say ourselves, but I think also based on what you saw this afternoon, it makes sense that we're saying that. So hopefully we'll see you back next year during the 6th edition of the UT Entrepreneurial Challenge with even more great ideas and solutions. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the evening and see you latest next year.